Hello and welcome back to the channel again. So the last vlog I think I left you was that I was waiting to hear back from the vets. They'd suggested that the next steps would be an MRI if she hadn't come sound 2 weeks after shoeing. And I am here to report that she still isn't sound. As I may have mentioned before, I can't remember, being over 40, my memory is now diabolical. But yeah, so I may have mentioned that she isn't massively lame. So she's not like hopping lame. She's not even very obviously lame. And a lot of the time when she is unsound, it's like I sometimes put her on the lunge just to gauge how she's doing, especially if the vets ask me to feed back to them within like a certain time frame. So that's the only time I'll really put her on the lunge. And when you put her on the lunge, when she first goes out on the right rein, she's not quite sound for the first couple of laps, and then she's fine. Out hacking, she feels absolutely fine to me. I haven't done any schooling on her. I've been in there twice, I think, in the last 3 months. And that was literally just walking, mostly walking, and like 2 circuits of trot both times. And that was absolutely ages ago when she first come back into work. It was just a couple of nights when I didn't really have the time to be going out hacking. So yeah, she isn't quite right. I spoke to my vets and she said to me, you could just leave it another couple of weeks, see how she goes, and then go with the MRI. But to be honest with you, the insurance claim for laminitis is up at the beginning of April. And I just think it's been 3 months, and she is better, but she's definitely not 100%. My vets did warn me that sometimes you can't always get right to the bottom of why they are so slightly lame, because it is so very slight. So we may not even find anything on the MRIs. Equally, we may find something. We don't know yet. So yeah, I spoke to them last Friday, I think it was. I can't remember now. It doesn't really matter. It is now the 10th. So she's going in. It's a Sunday the 10th. She's going in this evening. I'm taking her now. I'm dropping her off. She will have the MRI tomorrow at some point, and then she's staying in till Tuesday, because apparently it takes them a long time. They have to have like 36 hours to sort of look at all the images, because it takes hundreds of images. So they need that time to just have a good look at them. They will then feed back to me what they've seen, and then if she needs any treatment they want to give her, potentially she'll be having that. So she should be home Tuesday evening. They suspect she will be, but equally she may have to stay again depending on what they find and what they want to do, but she's more than likely going to be home Tuesday evening. So I was up this morning, mucked her out, whatnot. They couldn't have her today. They said they needed her between 3 and 5, so it is now like 2:30 or something like that. I washed her legs this morning because they were covered in poo stains. Gotta love having a grey, haven't you? And yeah, that was it this morning. Mucked her out, washed her legs. I'm just going to load her up now and get going. I don't know how much I'm going to film. This vlog's going to be over like maybe days, a couple of weeks. I'm not too sure. It should be out. It will be out before the end of March. But it's just, if I can manage to sort of record when I actually get the phone call from the vets, because I don't know when they're going to call me on Tuesday. I'm assuming it will be Tuesday. If I can record live like my reaction and stuff, then I probably will do that. I don't know. It might not seem quite right, might it? But anyway, it'll be over a few weeks. I will let you guys know. I might do a little bit of recording here. I'm not sure. I won't do much recording at NEH because I don't know that they allow that, because they have a lot of racehorses and stuff in. There was a couple of clips in my last vlog, but that was just one evening when there was no one around, so I just took a couple of clips, but I wouldn't be recording in there and whatever else. So, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted with what happens. She is all ready to go. She's got her little Lemure travel rug on. That's a really old Lemure rug my friend got me for Christmas, a few years back. I'm not putting any travel boots on her. I've got some really short ones, but we had a bit of a problem years ago. She doesn't travel on trailers. She loads on them, but then she won't stand up. And she doesn't like the big long travel boots. So this is a reasonably short journey. If I go on a long journey, I'll put the short ones on her. But yeah, I mean, they definitely do help, guys, don't get me wrong. Like, if a horse kicks into itself, it's going to protect it, but if you have an accident, it ain't going to do nothing to protect the horse, sadly. But yeah, she does have some. I just don't always put them on her for short journeys because she's not a big fan, and the ones she does have are just the short ones. Right, let's get rocking and rolling. She knows something's going on, don't you? You know something's going on. I'm gonna go and have another poo. Don't think we need to film that, do we? Right, let's get going. Right, we are here. Let's get this ramp down. I have to get the ramp down, I'll get her rug and her feeds off. Then I have to go over and take her passport and get permission to unload her. But I don't think we're going to do any filming in there because, yeah, as I say, there's lots going on here and it's lots of other people's horses. And you're right. Slightly embarrassing there. Caught on the vlog, caught on the hop. She's all dropped off now. Literally, all I do is take her. They take the passport. They take her feeds, put her in a stable. I change her rugs to her indoor, leave her head collar. It's as quick and as easy as that. My little co-pilot, Davy dog. Bless him. He's so cute. He just sits in the lorry and waits for me. And thankfully, he doesn't seem to set the alarm off when I lock it because I don't want to leave it unlocked. I my handbag. I don't want the dog to get stolen. There's no one around here, but it's just force of habit. Anyway, so yeah, I will keep you posted on any updates I get. As you can see, she is back from the vets. She ended up staying until Thursday, so I dropped her off Sunday. I thought she was coming home Tuesday. I'll go into more details than this. I'm going to go out taking her for a hack now, so obviously I'm still riding her, which is good. It was a bit of a shock when I had the conversation with the vet, so I'll go into details of that when we're out hacking. I'll just show you her new shoes. So she's got her new Jimmy Choos on. She has actually got heart bars on, what the vet recommended. Just picked her feet out. So anyway, let's get her tacked up and I will get into more details. Oh dear, yawning already. When we're out riding. So I got the call on Wednesday evening from the vet to talk through what they'd seen on the MRI. I couldn't record it live or anything like that. She'd caught me on the hop. I was down. I have got another horse who's retired. He'd actually got an abscess. He's living out. He's got an abscess. So I was down doing his foot. I just got back in the car when she called me, the vet. So basically she's got desmitis, which is inflammation of the collateral ligament, which is the ligament that goes down through their foot. I think it attaches to all the bones. I'm not entirely sure, so don't hold me to that. She's got slight inflammation of that. She's also got mild arthritic changes in her coffin joint. And she said the desmitis of the collateral ligament is probably caused by the arthritic changes because it would be potentially rubbing on it and causing some aggravation to it. But she said it's very, very mild. Both things are very mild. And she said if that's all they'd seen, they wouldn't be at all concerned about it. It's definitely not what's making her still a little bit unsound. It obviously is arthritis, so it probably will get worse. So at some point it may affect her. She unfortunately can't have steroid injections because of the laminitis risk. So there aren't too many options with it. You can put like an injection of something called Athrin Med or Athriaid or something in it, but she said that right now it's not needed. We need to get on top of the other issue that she found in there. Just do a little bit around this way now. We're just on this is actually a bridle path. It's surface though. I must stop swearing on the vlog. Yeah, it's a rubbish surface, but yeah, we're just on a bridle path. Yeah, so she's not concerned about that. Unfortunately, the thing that she is concerned about is just very frustrating, because it just sounds so ridiculous that it could end your horse's ridden career for something what sounds like it should be an easy fix. So basically, we know she's got really, really thin soles, but the MRI showed just how thin they are. So basically, she's got paper thin soles that are also dropped, so there's nothing really between her foot and the floor, like there's no concave on it at all, coupled with the fact that she's got, basically because her soles are so thin and they're so dropped, her pedal bone hasn't got much between it and the surface. You know, it's got like a paper thin protection, so her pedal bone is quite bruised on the edges. And that's just caused by concussion. It's just where she's moving around the different surfaces she's on, and her sole's not offering the protection it should. And then because of that, and because of the concussion and everything that's going on in her foot, whoops, slipped in, hate this little bit of road, or bridle path. Why don't you walk on the grass, darling? Yeah, because of that, the laminae at her toe are still a little bit swollen and inflamed is what I should say. They're a little bit inflamed, and she said it's not laminitis at all. There's no active laminitis in there. It's just caused by what's going on in her feet, her lack of sole, and the concussion that's coming because just from her moving around, basically, because her soles are so thin, there's no protection there, and it's inflaming everything in her feet. The frustrating thing with it is, it can be extremely serious, because the vet, when she phoned me, she was like, you know, we're really running out of options, because the pads didn't help at all. We had leather pads on her, didn't help at all. So she said the last thing that you can try is heart bar shoes, which is, as I showed earlier, is what she's got on now. So there, Farrier put the heart bars on the Thursday, just in the morning before I picked her up. And then the vet did another trot up, another lameness evaluation, and she said actually you could see an improvement just from the heart bars being on. But obviously she said her future's just very guarded from a veterinary point of view, she said, because although it's just thin soles and you think, well, it's thin soles, surely just stick some pads on, it's just not going to be as straightforward as that. So we are now obviously back. I couldn't really do any filming on the road, it's a bit dangerous. Well, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, so she's got these super thin soles that are also dropped, and then she's also got thin soles that are dropped, which means that her pedal bone is very close to the ground. There's nothing really protecting it, so her pedal bone is showing signs of being quite bruised, and then there's like areas of damage on it, not like fractures or anything, just areas of, I don't know how she explained it. And then also because of this, and it's all caused by concussion, because her sole's not doing the job it should. And then because of that also, the laminae in her toe are inflamed. And she said it's absolutely not laminitis. Like, she's actually nearly lost 50 kilos in weight, which I'm so pleased about. I knew she'd lost loads of weight because her girth used to go up 1 on one side and 2 on the other. It now does 3 and 4. So I knew she'd lost weight. I just didn't know how much exactly, because I use a weigh tape as a point of reference. It's not to get an accurate weight. It's just to make sure she's not gaining. And so, yeah, I knew she'd lost weight because of the girth going up, but I didn't know how much. Oh, sun. But yeah, this is what she's looking like now. You're looking a bit fat there, Bean. It's not a very good angle, but trust me, she looks really good. The vet's dead chuffed with that, yeah. So it's not laminitis, it's just that the laminae are inflamed because of the concussion and the fact that her soles aren't doing the job they should. Yeah, so the vet was like, very good lighting. Well, to be honest with you, you don't really want to see me, do you? Yeah, the vet was like, she
She was a bit doom and gloom, to be honest with you.
Just put you on a stand because my arm was killing me while I rabble on about this. So, 1 second, can. Drinking energy drink. I shouldn't be drinking energy drink because it gave me stomach ulcers a few years ago. 1 second. That's very rude and very annoying, isn't it? Yeah, so I keep stopping and starting and I can't remember where I was. Yeah, thin soles and whatnot. And yeah, the vet was pretty doom and gloom. That's what reduced me to tears, because it was the realisation that not only could potentially I not ride her, well, not only could I potentially not jump her, potentially not ride her, but trying to retire a horse like her would be extremely difficult. Obviously, I would definitely try if it come to that, but because she suffers with laminitis twice now, you couldn't really just take her shoes off and put her out in a field. She still needs a lot of weight management, and it's become very apparent trying to get this weight off her that you can't just withhold feed. You have to give her exercise, and obviously you can't exercise a lame horse. Well, if it was to get worse than this, you certainly couldn't. At the minute I am still riding her, but that is what the vet has told me to do. Yeah, so she said we tried the pads, they've not worked. Because of how thin her soles are and how dropped they are, basically anything that's pressured on the bottom of her foot is probably going to cause her some discomfort when it's supposed to be helping. But because they're so thin, that constant pressure isn't probably going to help her. So she was like, the last thing I can think of trying is the heart bar shoe. And she said with the heart bar shoe, you have to make sure it is fitted correctly, because a badly fitted heart bar shoe will cripple a horse, and there's like this much margin for error, basically. So she's like, do you want our farrier to fit them this time, and then you can speak to your farrier and see whether he's confident doing them. So they fitted them before I came and collected her on the Thursday. So yeah, I was very upset. It's not nice being told that your horse having thin soles could potentially kill them. To me, it just, I just immediately think, personally, and I've been around horses my whole life, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, don't be so ridiculous, just stick some pads on. It's just not going to be as easy as that with her. Anyway, I was obviously very upset. So I spoke to I sent my amazing farrier a lengthy message explaining the situation and dire straits that I was in, and then he called me straight away and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear, and we had a good chat, and actually he made me a lot more positive. He was like, I've dealt with horses with feet that are 20 times worse than what she has got, horses with pedal bones dropping out the bottom of their foot. He's like, I've got 10, 15, 20 things we can try before we say we can't try anything else. He was like, start with the heart bars 100%, because they're probably one of the cheaper options, and obviously I will pay as much as I can pay to get her right, definitely, that's not the issue. But he's like, you don't want to start with the most expensive. So we're trying that now, obviously. He's like, I'm 100% confident for doing heart bars, I've done it loads of times. But yeah, he just filled me with so much more confidence. He what's going on here? He just made me feel so much better because he gave me options. He ran through a few of them, but I'm not going to go into that because I couldn't tell you accurately what he said. Both the vet and the farrier both recommended that I put her on some sort of good hoof supplement. So I did a little bit of research myself. I also asked on Instagram and Facebook, and loads of lovely people come forward and recommended. And actually the two I was looking at was farrier's formula and 4 feet or something, horse for feet, or I can't remember exactly what it's called now, which is bad, isn't it? I can't even look because it's on my phone. But actually loads of people come forward and recommended this. Can you see? Science supplement, 4 feet plus. So the other one wasn't called 4 feet then, I don't know what it was called. But this was the one that everyone recommended. It is the most expensive. That bag does a month and it's 50 quid. But if it works, great. So yeah, my vet did say, because I don't necessarily, it's not that I don't believe in supplements, but I'll only spend money on things I can see a difference with. And I just think some of it's just marketing, making you feel sorry for your horse. You're thinking you're not doing the right thing for your horse, you stick him on supplements for things, and it's not, you're just throwing your money down the pan. This one did come highly recommended, and my vet did say like a good decent supplement will be more expensive, and this was one of the most expensive ones that comes across. And it said it's for providing high specific nutrients shown to help improve hoof horn condition, reduce cracking and splitting, decrease foot sensitivity, and promote healthy skin and hair. So actually it might help her skin, because probably this all ties in, doesn't it? You know, she's not got good skin. She's got multiple allergies along with the sweet itch. You know, she's so sensitive on her skin, so that will hopefully help that as well. With a hoof supplement, you won't see any difference for like 6 months. So I won't know, but I'll keep her on it. It'll make sure, because she's on this diet as well. She's still on 8 kilos of hay a day, and like her happy hoof. So she's probably lacking in some nutrients that are good for her feet. So obviously this will help. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, and I am kicking myself because I should know better. And I should have had her on something like that. As far as the joint issues go, so my vet said, because I said about that, and she said, well, I'm not concerned about the joint problem or the ligament issue. She said, like, it's there and it probably will get worse, but at the moment it's not the problem. But she's like, I was like, well, you know, do joint supplements work? And she's like, you can't. She said, like, you know, you want something. She said, I wouldn't go worrying too much about spending a load of money on a joint supplement, but she said if you do want to put her on something, obviously normally the stuff that's got the science behind it and is more expensive, because it are the better ones. She's like, you want higher levels of ingredients. So she said a good one is glucosamine, but she said it has to have a higher milligram of glucosamine in it. And she also said Boswellia, which I think is like a plant of some form. She said, but again, you want a higher milligram of it, so the highest you can get. I have been doing a little bit of research into joint supplements, but I need to do more of that. But to be honest with you, I was trying to get the foot thing sorted first and get that going. Sorry, this is really rambly, and I know that people don't really like a load of talking on YouTube videos, but it's just to try and explain what's going on and what I'm doing to try and help her. So I will get her on she is on a joint supplement, actually. She's on, I won it on Instagram. She's on Equine Flex Advanced Joint Support, which does have glucosamine and Boswellia in it. It's got chondroitin, linseed, vitamin C and E, HA, copper sulfate and black pepper. But I need to sort of work out what a high percentage of is. So this has got 4,000 milligrams per 10 grams of glucosamine and 2,000 milligrams per 10 grams of Boswellia. So they were the top 2 listed on there. So it has got quite a high thing in it. So I'll have a little look around. Have I noticed a massive difference of her being on this? No, but then at the minute, she's not got like, her issue isn't coming from her joint problem. Her issue's coming from her feet. So this is what I mean about buying supplements and not knowing if they're working. I don't like to have things and spend money on stuff that I don't know is working. This could be doing loads for her joint. I don't know, because she's not lame because of her joints, and she's never been a stiff, like clicky, troublesome horse with her joints, touch wood. So it probably is, it can't be doing nothing. It must be doing something, but whether it's doing enough, what I need to do is research if any of these other joint supplements have got a higher milligram of glucosamine and Boswellia in them. Yes, there's more research to be done from my end on that. So 100% is probably doing something, but whether or not it's doing enough, I just need to see whether or not it's, because actually that's very affordable. I think it's like £45 a tub, but I've had that since November and it's only just coming to the end now. So if that will work, brilliant. If that's enough, but if I can find something that's better, it's got the higher levels that the vet said she needed, I just need to do some comparing, basically. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I probably won't do anything else today, because there's nothing much else to show you. We've been on our hack. I'm going to muck her out now. What is the time? 2:30, so the time's cracking on. I might just set up, I am allowed to do a little bit of work in the school on her. She's still only doing a little bit of trot, and only the smallest circle I can do on is a 20-metre circle, which is fine. So I might set up the PIVA at some point this week and do a little bit of that, and then put this vlog out there. Again, it's a bit like the last one, very boring, very talky, but it's just updating really. So yeah, as I said earlier, this journey that I'm going to go on this year could go any which way. I'm really hoping, like, the best thing is going to be that we find something that works shoeing wise and she comes sound and I can get back to competing her. If not, I just want her to be sound and happy enough for her to be ridden, stay in some form of work so I can keep the weight down. Yeah, if not, it's going to be trying to retire her, which will be very difficult, but obviously I would give it my best bash. But I'm just hoping it doesn't come to that. I've got a good feeling about it. But so yeah, the videos this year is just going to be, I really don't know at the minute. It's either going to be the journey with this and hopefully back to some competing. I can do some show vlogs eventually, because I don't think I've even done one yet. I did a little bit of jumping in one of them, didn't I, last year? But I've not done any proper competition vlogs, which is just, yeah, very annoying. I should have, the last competition I did on her was October, just before she come in for winter, and she won the class, and I should have vlogged it, but I had no one with me and it was just impossible. But yeah, these vlogs could go any which way. So I'm just going to keep doing them as and when I want to. I enjoy doing them. I do enjoy doing them and putting them together. So it's probably very, very boring for most people to listen to me rambling on, and hopefully we'll get some more ridden footage. And yeah, I might be a bit limited, I guess, if I'm only doing the same stuff on her and just trying to get her sound. It might be a bit limited, but we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. Hello. It is now Monday the... Oh, that's noisy. Can't think what day it is. Hang on. Oh. 25th. Monday the 25th. So we are... On Thursday will be 2 weeks from having had her heart bar shoes fitted. We've been doing some hacking. I did one little schooling session last week just because I'm supposed to be trotting her a bit, but I'm not supposed to be trotting her on hard ground. And the ground around here at the moment is still pretty wet, so equally I don't really want to be doing too much trotting on boggy ground. So it's really difficult because they want me to build the trot up to like 20 minutes. It's supposed to be up to 20 minutes within the next 2 weeks. So I have done a little bit in the school, no smaller than a 20-metre circle and just short intervals of trot. I have done a little bit of trotting out when I can find decent ground, but I can't trot on the road. So just been having to mix it up a little bit. I'm very happy to report, there she is. I'm very happy to report that, touch wood and fingers crossed, she does seem to be better with the heart bars on. I actually did put her on the lunge. I don't normally do that now at the minute, but I just stuck her on the lunge just to see, because that's when she's normally laying on a circle on hard ground. But I put her on the lunge to see one day last week, can't remember which day it was, and I asked my friend to look as well, and we both agreed that you can't see it. I couldn't see that she was lame at all. My friend was like, maybe very, very slightly on the right rein, which is her worst rein, but like, even she was like, I don't know, I can't be 100% sure. Anyway, that's where we are at the minute. So obviously it's nearly the end of March now. I have actually, I don't know if you can see, no you can't see it in the school. I've set up the Pivo just to film a little bit of me riding her in the school, because sometimes it feels like it's better, but then when you watch it on playback, you might pick up things you don't feel. So I'm just going to put the Pivo on, get some footage. I will put that in. Yeah, and just let you know what the plan is going forward, and then I think we'll end the vlog, because it's starting to become quite a long vlog again, and a lot of it's chatting. So anyway, let me get her out and get cracking. So I just thought I'd do a little voiceover. I'm sorry now if you can hear the dog snuffling and snorting in the background. I mean, it wasn't really a schooling session, as I would say, because this is still early days. I'm trying to do like one little bit of work in the school. I'm not sure if I explained this earlier, but the ground's not the best. So actually the most consistent ground for trot work and stuff is in the menage. And whilst probably isn't the best thing to be going round and round in circles, we kind of know what we're dealing with now, like the thin soles and the tiny bit of arthritic changes. So I don't think it's going to do any damage to her. So literally just going round, doing some transitions, a little bit of trot work, back to walk. I mean, no longer than sort of a couple of laps, a few 20-metre circles, and then I'm back to walk again. as I record this voiceover, I'm actually into week 4 now, so I'm meant to be doing 20 minutes worth of trot. Well, I don't think I've ever done 20 minutes worth of trot in all the time I've had her. So yeah, we are now building it right up, but as I say, most of it's being done in the menage, because, well, not most of it, that's an absolute lie, but it's hard to find good ground out at the minute. It's either hard or it's soft or whatever in between, lumpy. Yeah, so we were just doing, like I say, some transitions up and down. I think in here as well there's just a little tiny bit of halt work. I've not got hardly any contact on her because I'm just like really aware. I want to be able to see if she feels funny, if she's head bobbing or anything like that. So I'm just super like aware all the time, and like probably a bit too cautious, to be honest with you. I'm also doing some stuff here whereby I'm going to ask her to halt, and then as she goes to halt, I'm asking her to walk on again, because she does anticipate it a lot. So yeah, if she's chucking her head and then sort of evading, I sort of send her forward again. It does help her to stop anticipating the halt work. But yeah, just it's pretty boring, to be honest with you guys. And like I say, I'm not actually asking anything of her. My reins are loose. I'm not trying to get her to bend, flex, work into a contact. She does naturally just drop down. She unfortunately naturally drops behind the vertical. I'm always working on trying to get her to take the contact forward when I am working her properly, but obviously at the minute I'm just not doing that. I'm just sort of bimbling about in the school, just trying to get the exercise in, basically. Just trying to get the work in that I'm meant to be getting in at the moment. We do a little bit of leg yield, I believe, soon, which is absolutely shocking. I tell you, having the pivot is just brilliant. I've raved about it on here before, I believe. That's not a bad halt. Yeah, so you feel like you're riding okay, or you're doing something completely different, and then you watch it back and you're like, oh, okay, I need to change this, I need to change that. And my leg yield in a minute is absolutely shocking. But I mean, namely because I've not got any contact on her, and I'm just sort of messing about to sort of make it a bit more interesting for her, rather than just going round and round and round in circles. Also, at the beginning of the session, it did get slightly better towards the end. I just haven't got her in front of my leg enough, which is here's the leg yield. Terrible. Which is a problem I have, and I always feel like I'm going more forward, and then watch it back and it's not. But yeah, it's something we would be working on. But like I say, this wasn't a schooling session as such. It was just trying to get some exercise into her, get some more trot work into her, but have the a constant level ground for her to work on. Yeah, so she does, watching this, but I felt like she was going forward, and actually she wanted to go more forward. She wasn't fresh, she was just very distracted this day. She just kept finding dog walkers on the paths next to the field and concentrating more on that. But I was like holding her back a bit because I was just a bit concerned. This was probably the first sort of time we've been in here in a good couple of months. So yeah, I was just wanted to pay more attention to make sure she wasn't like lame and feeling horrible. But yeah, she wanted to go forward. I was just holding her back a bit more, and yeah, I should have been sending her forward and getting her more in front of the leg. But we're very, very out of practice. We're very, very just out of practice basically. It's very raw, this. It was just to show you what she's looking like at the moment. She's feeling really good, and I think she feels and looks sound. Obviously I will be speaking to my vets very soon anyway to see whether they agree. Okay, sorry, put the phone on the stand and it's giving me bother. There she is, the good girl. So pretty good session. I'll probably do a little voiceover, I think, rather than babble on now. But she's not like, I'm aware that she's so good. Like she's been in since the middle of December, and yes, she's been in work since when was it? End of January, I think. End of January she's been in work. So she's been on box rest but ridden every day, but she's not had any turnout. Now I will say I did put her out for an hour yesterday, which she was very pleased about. So I'm aware that she's just been so good, but she is hitting her limit now. Like today when I got on her, she just felt so not fresh. She just wants to get on. Like normally when she's like this, I'd give her a bit of a canter and give her something to think about, but obviously at the minute I can't do that, and even the trot's limited. I can't just go round and round and round in circles. So we just have to work with it a little bit. I'll leave the clips in of her. She's not spooking, but she's finding distractions everywhere. And there was dog walkers. There's loads of dog walkers around here all the time. And you think she'd be used to that now, having been here since last June. But, you know, when you're riding her, there's still a brilliant reason there to just head up in the air, looking in the distance, not wanting to listen to me. And obviously I don't want to be holding her head down, especially when I'm trotting, because if there is something, if she's not quite right, I don't want to miss her bobbing her head or anything. But at some points I did have to sort of take up a bit of a contact, because I just had that feeling. Like, she's so respectful, but yeah, I just felt a bit safer to pick her up a little bit. Anyway, I'm just going to crack on and get her sorted out, get her boots taken off, and do her feet, because I have a little routine now of her feet. Okay, so loads of people suggested I used Keratex hoof hardener. Yeah, you use it every day for a week and then twice a week, and it's supposed to just harden the sole of the foot. You don't put it on the frog, and you don't put it anywhere on the coronet band or anything on the front of the hoof, just literally the sole. So I've been doing it since last Thursday. So on Thursday will be our last weekly. Oh, come on. I'm just gonna get rid of any of that surface. And then on the fronts of her feet, I'm still using the Kevin Bacon's hoof dressing, because that's what the farrier asked me to use, because she actually, as delicate as her soles are, and they are delicate, I don't even know if they necessarily need hardener, because my farrier hasn't said they're soft, but you know, it can't hurt, and he said it won't hurt. Yeah, and then I use the Kevin Bacon's on the, I can't even think what the hell it's called now, the front of her feet basically, because the front of her feet, she gets cracked. So I don't use that every day, sort of 4 times a week, sometimes a little bit more, depending on how she needs. He said, like, don't overuse it because you'll end up with soft feet, but it has made a big difference. So oh, gonna get the dog there now. Obviously I picked her feet, don't knock that over darling, it's expensive, thank you. I picked her feet out before we rode, but I didn't put this in, so I thought, well, she'll just get sand all in her feet and it'll just, yeah, so I've got to put it on now. It gives it a chance to soak in before I start mucking her out. So I will now go and get the Kevin Bacon's, but I think no one needs to see me put it on. So yeah, I put the Kevin Bacon's on the front of her feet. I say, again, not every single day. I'm going by what everyone's recommending to me, and anything that anyone's recommended to me who's not a vet or farrier, I always check with my vet and farrier. And I mentioned the supplements, and she's been on that about a week now. So we should be carrying that on. We won't see any difference with that. It'll take a good 6 months. I think they said 3 to 4. You might start to see the decent hoof growing down, but it's going to take a long time for that to really work. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to wrap the vlog up here, because it's going to be another bloody long one, a lot of talking in it. I don't know what the next one will be, obviously. I don't know where we're going from here. To me, she feels pretty good. Like, she feels the best she's felt. My vets have said they only want to see her back if I feel she needs to be seen, so I can send them videos and stuff. I don't really want to have her go back up there and stay up there again, so I'm not going to send her unless I do feel like she needs to be seen. At the moment, I wouldn't say she does. I might see if I can send them a video like in a couple of weeks time. So yeah, I've just got to gradually now, so we're in week 2, we're like near the end of week 2. By the end of week 4, she's meant to have been doing 20 minutes of trot work. It is a little bit tricky because the ground around here, there's parts that are solid already, like the wind's got to it and really solid, and then rutty because it's rutted, and there's parts that are still really sticky. I'm not really meant to go in the school too much and do loads and loads of circles on her, but then the surface in the school is obviously the most consistent, and it's not a deep surface, so actually it's quite good. So I am trying to do like a schooling session, one a week really. And I say schooling session, like she's not going forward enough in the trot. I'm very aware of that. I'm not holding her head down. I'm just trying to let her go round. It's just to give her some exercise is all it is. I'm not working on anything or pushing her to do anything taxing. So I say schooling session, it's just so that I can try and up her trot work, because when I'm out hacking I can only trot her when the ground's okay, and I say it differentiates, and it's really hard to sort of, you'd never get 20 minutes worth of trot work in around here out hacking, you just wouldn't, because the ground's just so up and down. I can't trot on rock hard lumpy ground. If it's hard it's not too bad if there's like a grass coverage, but if it's rocky and lumpy it's no good. She'll feel it on her soles. And then road work I try and do as little trot on there as possible. So yeah, it is proving a bit tricky, but we will get there. So yeah, sorry, I'm rambling again, aren't I don't know what the next vlog will be. If there's not much to update, then I may not bother, because it will just depend how the next 2 weeks go, as to whether or not I can then up her work a bit, or they sign her off and say she's sound, and then we can just get cracking. And then basically all I've got to do is just like introduce canter, see how she copes with that, introduce some pole work, see how she copes with that. I mean, I could probably start doing some pole work now, to be honest with you, just walking. And then if she's okay, I guess start to see how she feels with the jumping. I'll know if she doesn't enjoy the jumping because she buries herself in the bottom of the fences and she just doesn't want to go forward, and that's how I know like it'll be hurting her. So I know her inside out. I'll know in my heart whether or not she's wanting to do it. She does, when she's well, she loves her jumping, so I'll just know if she's not feeling it. So yeah, fingers crossed we will get there. I'm sure I'll have a hacking / dressage horse at the end of this. I would absolutely love to have a jumping horse to go out eventing on. Low level, I don't do anything more than 70, but I would only do what she can cope with. So if I can't do that, then I can't do it. But I say, I don't know what I'm going on again, aren't I? Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry these are a bit boring, but I do want to keep doing them. I enjoy doing them and I like looking back on them, and I'm hoping this will be a thing of the part, like I'll be looking back on this and going, oh look how far we've come since then. Fingers crossed anyway. But thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I love it when I get a comment as well. But yeah, see you for the next one, whatever that may be.